Futuro y condicional. We now turn our attention to the irregular forms of the verbs. We see here the verb hablar in both the futuro and the condicional, the future and the conditional. We know that the word will does not exist in Spanish, so if we add the future endings, hablaré, I will speak, that's going to communicate will without having to have a separate word for it. So let's look at the verb endings for that. Hablaré, hablarás, hablará. Hablaremos, hablaréis, hablarán. I will speak, you will speak, she will speak, we will speak, y'all will speak, and they will speak. Those are the endings for the future tense. The endings for the conditional tense, the would, are hablaría, hablarías, hablaría, hablaríamos, hablaríais, and hablarían. I would speak, you would speak, she would speak, we would speak, y'all would, and they would speak. So the future and the conditional are communicating will and would with these two sets of endings. We know that in the future, a, as, and an all have accents on them. And in the conditional, the I is going to have an accent all the way down. Ia, ias, ia, iamos, iais, and ian will all be accented over the I. The set of verb endings for the future is the same for AR, ER, and IR verbs. The set of endings for the conditional are also the same for AR, ER, and IR verbs. Let's look now at the raíces irregulares, the irregular roots of the words. We have exactly the same list of words for the future and the conditional, and they're going to be the same in both. They're both irregular in the future and the conditional tense. We have some words, for example, in future and conditional, where the vowel in the ending will change to a D. Tener goes to tendré, pondré, vendré, saldré. So instead of teneré, poneré, or veniré for the future, it'll be tendré, pondré, and vendré. Same with the conditional. Instead of tenería, ponería, y veniría, it will be tendría, pondría, vendría for the conditional. We have two words on the list that those letters will not change to a D. They'll just disappear. So if you want to say I will do or I will say, it will be haré or diré. Or if you go to the conditional, in the right-hand column, I would do or I would say, haría, diría. And the last word on the list is going to be a little bit different as well. This one is different because for the future, you're going to have two R's, and in the conditional, just one R. And we'll show you an example of how to conjugate that out in a minute. So if you were to put each word on this list in the future, first person, I will, it will be tendré, pondré, vendré, saldré, haré, diré, and querré. I will have, I will put, I will come, I will leave, I will do, I will say, I will want. In the conditional, if we put them in the first person, tendría, pondría, vendría, saldría, haría, diría, quería, you would be saying, I would have, I would put, I would come, I would leave, I would do, I would say, and I would want. Let's look at the word tener, and we'll conjugate it all the way through. I will have would be tendré, tendrás, you will have, tendrá, she will have, tendremos, tendréis, and tendrán. That's what that verb would look like if it were conjugated all the way through. I will have, you will have, she will have, we will have, y'all will have, and they will have. Notice the D is included all the way down instead of the E for tener. I would have would be very similar. Tendría, tendrías, tendría, tendríamos, tendríais, and tendrían. I would have, you would have, he would have, we would have, y'all would have, and they would have. And that D would be included for saldría, vendría, tendría. There are many verbs that are going to have that D instead of an E or an I ending. The ending stays the same. It's the stem now that's changing. Let's look at another verb. I will do, haré, harás, hará, haremos, haréis, harán. Instead of haceré, hacerá like it should be, you remove two of the letters out of the stem and you have haré, harás, hará. Let's look at the conditional. Instead of I will do, I would do. Haría, harías, haría, haríamos, haríais, and harían. And the last one we'll look at is want. I will want, Querré, querrás, querrá. Querremos, querréis, and querrán. I would want, quería, querías, quería. Queríamos, queríais, querían. And notice I will want will have the double R in the future, single R in the conditional. Raíces irregulares, irregular stems, in the futuro y condicional. Tendré, pondré, vendré, saldré, haré, diré, querré, for the future. Tendría, pondría, vendría, saldría, haría, diría, quería, for the conditional. That's our lesson, future and conditional, irregular stems in the future and conditional tenses.